This video is produced by EasyPathUni in coordination with Yazan Ibrahim. In this lesson, we're covering 3.3, Real-World Examples, Case Studies and AIMS Implementation. We're going to get really practical and dive into the real world of AI. See, it's not just about flashy demos anymore. It's about building something much more important, trust. We'll be looking at how some leading companies are tackling AI management systems, and believe me, they're turning a massive challenge into a huge strategic win.
So this is the big one, right? As AI reshapes literally everything around us, how do you prove it can be trusted? I mean, it's not enough to just build cool tech anymore. In a world where deepfakes and hidden biases are everywhere, proving your AI is responsible, well, it's not just a nice to have, it's about survival.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why AI governance is such a big deal now. It's a strategic must-have. Then, we're going to unpack the actual blueprint for trust, a new international standard that's changing the game. The main event, though, we'll be looking at 4 companies who are already out there doing it. And finally, we'll wrap up with the tough stuff, the challenges they ran into, and a clear path for you to follow.
All right, Section 1, the AI governance imperative. It's all about moving from seeing AI as just a risk to seeing it as a real strategic advantage. It's not just about dodging fines or avoiding a PR nightmare. It's about turning that risk on its head and using it to get way out in front of the competition.
So you might be thinking, why bother with a whole standard? Is it just more red tape? Absolutely not. It's not about ticking a box. This is about building serious business value. We're talking about earning trust from customers who, let's be honest, getting a little nervous about AI. It's about being ready for big regulations like the EU AI Act before they hit, so you're not playing catch-up. And ultimately, it's about creating a massive competitive advantage. Because in this new AI world, trust, well, trust is the killer feature. Okay, so if that's the why, then what's the how? How do you actually do this? Let's get into the blueprint for trust itself. We're talking about ISO/ISA 42001. So what is this thing? Just think of ISO/ISC 42001 as like the official rulebook for responsible AI. It just came out in late 2023, and it gives companies a complete auditable framework. And that word auditable is key. It means someone from the outside can come in and verify that you're actually walking the talk. It covers the whole shebang, from the very first brainstorm for an AI system all the way to the day you finally shut it down. All right, theory is one thing, but practice, that's where the rubber meets the road. So now we're going to look at 4 trailblazing companies. These guys aren't just reading the blueprint, they're out there building with it. And in the process, they're setting the standard for everyone else. First up, Synthesia. You've probably seen their stuff. They make those incredibly realistic AI-generated videos with digital people. Now, for a company like that, working in synthetic media, the potential for misuses, well, it's off the charts. We're talking deepfakes. So for them, proving they were a responsible company wasn't just a good idea, it was absolutely critical to their existence. So what they do, they went all in. They put in some seriously rigorous processes to make sure their avatars and voices were diverse, tackling bias right where it starts. They made it a rule that every single video is clearly labeled as AI-generated, no tricks. Plus, they rolled out super strict content moderation to block anyone trying to misuse their tech. This wasn't just a new policy they tacked on. It was a complete overhaul of how they do business. And the results? A massive boost to their credibility. I mean, in a field that's basically one giant ethical minefield, they managed to build a rock-solid reputation for being responsible. That became their secret weapon, their key differentiator. It gave them a solid playbook for dealing with all the crazy, complex stuff that comes with synthetic media. Okay, next up is a company called Integral Ad Science, or IAS. They're in the wild world of digital advertising. Their whole job is using AI to make sure that when a company pays for an ad, it's actually seen by a real human in a safe place. In this business, trust is the only currency that matters. Advertisers have to know their cash isn't just vanishing into the pockets of fraudsters. So IAS's whole strategy came down to one word: transparency. They decided to crack open their black box, that mysterious algorithm that nobody understands. They documented exactly how their ad verification models work. They built privacy in from the ground up, getting ready for things like GDPR way ahead of time. And maybe most importantly, they set up real-time monitoring to spot fraud or any performance dips the second they happen, before it could ever hurt their clients. And the impact? It was huge, and it was fast. It made their relationships with advertisers and publishers so much stronger. It basically cemented them as the responsible go-to partner in the space. It gave them a clear, structured way to keep innovating without blowing things up in a really fast-paced industry. Our third example is a big one: Cognizant. They're a massive global IT services company. They build and roll out AI solutions for clients in pretty much every industry you can think of. So their challenge was totally different. It wasn't about one product, it was about scale. How do you possibly guarantee responsible AI when you have thousands of projects and tens of thousands of employees all over the world? Cognizant's answer was basically go big or go home. They didn't just spin up a new ethics department, no. They wove responsible AI into the very fabric of every single client project they took on. They rolled out massive training programs to make sure everyone, everywhere, was on the same page. This, right here, is what it looks like when you take ethics off of a PowerPoint slide and make it real at a global scale. And let me tell you, this was an absolute game changer for Cognizant. It instantly set them apart from their competitors. Suddenly, clients knew that when they worked with Cognizant, the AI solution they got would be powerful, sure, but it would also be safe, ethical, and totally compliant. That kind of confidence is priceless, and it gave them a massive edge. Okay, for our last case study, we're diving into the insurance world with a company called CISA. They use AI to help insurance companies decide what risks to take on. That's underwriting. Now, insurance is super regulated and, by its nature, hates risk. So the idea of using some mysterious black box AI to make huge financial decisions, yeah, that's a complete non-starter. CISA had to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that their AI was transparent and accountable. CISA's whole philosophy was about keeping a human in charge. They built their systems so the AI acts as a smart assistant. It gives recommendations, but a real human underwriter always makes the final decision. They also put in formal, regular reviews to check the AI's models and outputs for risk. And the real key? They made their AI explainable. That means if a regulator ever asks, why did the AI suggest this, they can point to exactly how that decision was reached. And the payoff for all that hard work? It was massive. This approach built incredible trust, not just with their insurance partners, but with the regulators too. And in an industry like insurance, where trust is literally the foundation of the entire business, their focus on responsible AI became their #1 competitive advantage. No question. Okay, so these stories are pretty inspiring, right? But let's be real for a second. It's not always that easy. It's not a perfectly smooth path. So let's talk about the hurdles that companies actually face when they try to do this, and more importantly, the proven ways to get over them. Look, these challenges are real, but they are definitely not showstoppers. For example, if you're thinking, we don't have enough AI experts, well, start an AI champions program. Find enthusiasts in your company and give them targeted training. Worried about the budget? Don't try to boil the ocean. Start small. Pick your highest risk AI system and implement there first. And if you're worried this is just more bureaucracy, remember that these new standards are actually designed to fit together with systems you probably already have, making it a lot smoother than you'd think. So, we've covered the why this is important, the what the standard is, and the how from those 4 pioneers. Now it's time to bring it all home for you. Let's boil all this down into a clear, step-by-step path you can actually use for your own journey. Okay, here it is, your 6-step roadmap to get this done. Step 1, leadership. This has to come from the top. It has to. Step 2, get everyone in the room. We're talking legal, IT, HR, marketing. AI touches everything, so you need all those stakeholders engaged. Step 3, document everything. The old saying is true. If you didn't write it down, it never happened. Step 4, constant monitoring. AI isn't set it and forget it. Models change, so you have to be auditing continuously. Step 5, and this is a big one, human oversight. Never, ever let the machine have the final say on something critical. And finally, step 6, use the right tools. There's great tech out there that can help automate and manage this whole process. Don't do it all by hand. So let's wrap this up. The blueprint, ISO 42001. It's here. It exists. And the benchmarks? Well, pioneers like Synthesia, IAS, Cognizant, and CISA have already set them. They've proven that this isn't just some theoretical exercise. It's possible, and it's incredibly powerful for business. So really, the only question left is for you. What are you going to build?